So I was out in my front yard the other day, and one of the local kids was going by on a skateboard. And I said, "Hey, where's your bike at?" He says, "I got a flat tire." I go, "Get a flat tire? Why don't you fix it?" He goes, "I don't know how." So I said, "Bring it on by, because I think I can fix it." And that's what we're going to do today. Okay, the first thing we want to do is identify where the leak's coming from. As you can see, I put a tub of water out there and we got the tire submerged. As of right from this point here, I do not see any water coming out of there. So I'm going to have Joe here go ahead and spin that tire around slowly and see if we can find this water where it's coming from. Stop there. Let's take another look. If you see any bubbles, let me know, because that's the sign of a leak. I'll pull this in as tight as I can. I don't see anything there. Go ahead and move it up a little bit.
All right.
Stop it there. Do you see anything? I think I see some bubbles.
Yeah, right there.
I see a couple. It's not, boy, it's really sensitive. I got the camera all the way in, and you could barely see them. They're coming up right here. Okay, it's rough. There's the plug, and the bubbles are coming up probably about 3 or 4 inches away from them. So the only reason I do that is to give us an idea when I take this apart, so we can kind of see where it's at. I want to check the tire besides the tube, because the tire could have something in it that is causing the tube to get a hole in it or leak. So we want to check both, but we know the area. All right, let's get this thing off. Part right here where you take this out, and this releases the brake so the tire can come out. You just pull this in, pull it down, and pop that up. See, it comes open like that. Now this is nice and easy for the tire to come out. Look at that. Tire is off. Okay, now with the tire off, we want to make sure we get all the remaining air, as much as we can, out of that valve stem right there by pushing that down, and it's all the way out. So now we want to remove the tire. Removing the tire in this case is easy. See, I can pull up a little bit, and there's a little slack there. So I'll take it, pull it back. Look at that, it comes off super easy. It's out of my way. The reason I want to remove the whole tire is I want to check the rim here. First, we'll check the rim to make sure there's nothing there that could cause a problem where it could get punctured again. You see this little lining right here? This is a rubber lining around. So we're going to spin around here and feel for anything that could damage that tube, because you don't want to put a new tube back on or a repair tube and have it punctured again. So I'm feeling for anything sharp or out of the ordinary that would jump out at me. Made in China, that jumps out at me. Other than that, it feels pretty good. This part of the rim looks pretty good. Okay, step 1 done. Okay, now I got the tube and the tire. I'm gonna take the tube out. Easily done. You can see I just pull it right up and it's out. Now the tire. I want to go through this and feel on the inside here and make sure there's nothing that could have damaged that tube that's still in there. Again, running my hand across the whole thing. I'll spin it around. Plus I'll do a good visual as well. But this is first. And by the way, if there is something in there, I'm pretty sure I'll feel it on my beautiful thumb. So, there might be a better way of doing this, but I'm willing to take a little one for the team there. Okay, I'm almost completely around. That's a 360. And now I'll do a visual by looking in this way, all the way around. Looks good to me. Okay, so we know this is good. It's down to our tube. Got the tube here. Now we want to find out where the hole's at. So what I can do is take my lovely compressor, which I have hooked up, and we want to pump this guy up a little bit. There it is, my compressor filling it up. I'm not going to go crazy. That should do it right about there. Okay. Now with this pressure on there, I should be able to find that leak, but that was a small one. So what I did, I broke out the swimming pool. We've got a kiddie swimming pool for gerbils or small rodents, but we also can use it for finding the leak. We remember when we did our test prior, we knew it was somewhere around here, just a little bit off of this valve here. So if I stick it in here, look at this. I don't know, I'll bring the camera over so you can see it. But she's screaming at me right now. And you see those bubbles? That's our little guy right there. It's a small hole, and the way that we're gonna identify it is I'll dry it off and then I'll mark it with a marker. Otherwise, we'll never find it when the air comes out. Okay, there she is. Let me dry that off with a paper towel. And as you can see, I put a marker right on the pinhole and I did all the area around. I'm gonna rough this area up with the little tool that came with it, that's all gonna come off. It's gotta be cleaned off, otherwise the patch won't stick. So let's get on to that. You don't wanna repair it with the air in it. You take it all out and compress this a little bit like this to help get the air out of it. See, I'm rolling this up a little bit, and now there's only a little bit of air left, and I constantly work that out. Let me get over here where I can move this over a little bit like this and get my little handy dandy screwdriver to release more pressure out of that and coil it really up on that thing. That way I'll get all the air out. That's pretty much all of it out. So now, when I open it up, we're ready for the patch. Let's get the area prepped. Okay, here's the little kit I bought on Amazon. Cute, has everything you'll need to repair this. So let's flip it over here and it shows you how to use it. Right here it shows you that there's two plastic things that come in here. We didn't use them because we were able to pull the whole tire off, but I have better ones anyways that would take the tire off if necessary, but we didn't need that. The next thing we're going to do is take this little metal piece, rough up the inner tube, apply the cement number 3, wait 1 minute, put the patch on, press firmly, and then voila, after it's pressed firmly on the patch, you are done. Here's the tool that we're going to rough it up with. They give you several of those there. And we're going to use one of these because it's a really small hole. So this will be fine. Okay, what we do now, since we got a bunch here to pick from, let's get the scissors off, cut one of them off. And now I'll show you here. See, this is the glue we're going to use. It's a special glue which will vulcanize that patch. The way you get the glue to open the container, it's kind of easy. Spin the top off like I just did, flip the cap around. In there is a little like sharp object the opposite way. You push it in there like I just did there. Boom. That breaches that glue canister and it is now ready to use. Okay, let's get the surface area prepped. The little metal tool they give you in the kit, which they give you several of them, is designed to rough up the surface of the rubber tube. As you can see, I'm just scraping it across there. Not too hard, but just enough to kind of like take a little of the material away. And I'm doing it a couple of different angles in different directions just to get that whole area ready to go for the cement that we're going to put down, which will vulcanize the patch. As you can tell, I'm getting close to getting it all ready. I think this should just about do it. Okay, now that we got it all roughed up and we got to clean it off a little bit, they say to use a little alcohol on here, isopropyl alcohol, and that'll evaporate fast, which it evidently does. Next thing, we need to put our glue on, and we're going to use the back of this to spread it around. So this is our area right here. We can be a little liberal with it, so versus conservative, even though I don't talk politics on this channel. That's a little bit liberal, and I'll spread this around here just like this. Make sure I get a good coverage area, because I want to make sure that that patch sticks on there. Now that I did that, I can take this apart over here. I'm in no rush, by the way. I want that glue to set up a little bit. So I'm peeling this off the back, and it's ready to go. I'll let that sit there another extra minute, because I really want that to stick good. Now that I got it, putting this guy dead center on there, right there. And boom, I'm going to push down and circle it around, put a little pressure. Hold it down, and you can see it really getting into there. I'm running that around. That's it. Now I'll let that sit there for another minute or two, and then I'll peel that off. Okay, it's been well over a minute. I'll come back and peel this little corner off if I can. I should be able to. And there it is. That thing is vulcanized. We like to use that word, vulcanized. The only place I've ever heard that other than in the world of patching tubes is on Star Trek. I think he was a Vulcan, but that should be it. That, as you can see, that looks like it is on there. And I don't think we'll have any problems. So let's put this baby back together and pump her up. Okay, now that our tube is patched, we're going to put the tube back into the tire first, and then we're going to put the rim one side at a time on, and then that should do it. So let's start off by putting this in here. Okay, here's the rim. There's a hole in the rim. That's where the valve stem goes. I've got the valve stem all the way up here, so that's what we'll put in first, the valve stem. Very crucial we get that in, and we get it in right. It's got to be coming in right through the walls of the tire, straight, so I can pull it in. We want that nice and straight after we get both sides on. So let's get the bottom half on first, and then the top. Okay, I've got the bottom all the way on around the whole perimeter, and now the top. Most of it's on. I just got this little spot over here. I just got to push this in little by little. I don't want to use a tool if I don't have to. My hand is doing a good job. It popped in perfect. This thing is all set. My valve stem is dead center where I want it, and everything's nice and toasty. It's beautiful. A lot of tires don't really do that. They're a little tighter, but this is kind of a loose fit on this bike for some reason. So let's put a little bit of air in it. Okay, I got my little air compressor here. I'm going to push over here so this doesn't push on the back of the tire. I'm not going to fill it up all the way. I'm just going to put enough air in there so I can make sure everything's seated properly. Okay, I put a little bit of air in there. My valve stem, see I'm working it back out. Make sure it's nice and straight. Right in the center, just where I want it. Now it's got a little bit of, I'll check the whole tire out to make sure everything looks good. Nothing's bulging anywhere here. Looks good. Looks good all the way around here. So we're in really good shape. This is all the way out. And we're ready to finish filling it up. Before I put this on the bike, you see that little arrow? That says, that's the rotation of the tire. So that helps me orientate it. Okay. So this says the tire is going to spin this way. So this is the way I want to put it on. I put it on here. Sits in there. Obviously, you know how to tighten that up because you've done it before. It's a speed tight. Okay. It's on there. Let's put some pressure into it. I checked the side of the tire. It said it needs 40 to 65. So let's pump it back up. Okay, I pumped that tire up a little bit. I put my gauge on it, which I'll show you right here. That's about 41, 42. That's good for him. He's got a bike pump, so he can adjust it higher if he'd like. Well, that's all from I Can Fix That. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. Thanks, man.